Hello, this is Raymond Mayfield, and great to be with you today. Just a little bit on the funny side, I heard today a 600-pound hog got loose in New Hampshire, and he was on his way to vote in the New Hampshire primary. That's a way to get us started off today, but I want to talk to you about one of the great men in the Bible by the name of Nehemiah. Nehemiah was a great man of God. The Jews had been back in Jerusalem for several years, but little progress had been made in restoring the city. The temple had been rebuilt, but when they tried to rebuild the walls, their enemies would always cause them to disrupt and hinder the work that they were trying to do. Nehemiah was greatly burdened for Jerusalem, and he prayed earnestly for the restoration, and he prayed earnestly for the people over there in Jerusalem. He had a great burden for that city. Nehemiah had a good position where he was at. He was a cupbearer in the Persian court. He had came from the Babylonian captivity when the Persians came over there, but he did have a great position, and God blessed him, but it didn't go to his head. He kept his perspective and his great burden for his native homeland, Jerusalem. He put himself at great risk when he asked the king if he could go back and lead the people of Jerusalem in rebuilding the wall. And the king allowed them to go and to do so, and I think the Lord probably had a lot to do with that. And the Lord has a lot to do with a lot of things that go in our life if we sincerely pray and seek God. God can change your situation. God can make things turn around. All you need to do is seek God with your whole heart. Nehemiah was a great leader. Nehemiah's leadership abilities were born from his submission to God, his obedience to God, and thank God he had ability to focus on the right kind of goals. He didn't get off track. He had wisdom in handling complex situations. He had courage to act decisively when he needed to. But the most important thing in Nehemiah's life, that he was a man of God. He had a strong prayer life. He was faithful to God, and he was able to draw from God wisdom and patience and skills and perseverance. What a great man of God he was. As we look back into Nehemiah's life, we will discover many things about his personal life. He was a model for having great prayer life. Consistent prayer will always make a difference in anyone's life, and really starting off with thanking God for what he's already done. He was a model for having great leadership skills. He overcame discouragement. You know, all of us face discouragement from time to time, but we've got to get around that and go through and say we're going to make it by the grace of God. He knew how to handle conspiracies and adversity. He knew how to handle conflict. Promotion came with proper perspective of him when he had a good position in the Persian court. He didn't let it go to his head. He kept a burden for Jerusalem, and his love was there in his homeland, and a special love for Jerusalem. Thank God for Jerusalem and for Israel, and pray for the peace of Jerusalem today. He knew how to deal with issues when he got hurt. A lot of us get hurt, and that's one of the leader's toughest tasks, is when we get hurt, is how we handle situations like that. And so we thank God for a great man like Nehemiah, and I hope you've enjoyed this video today. You can catch me on many sites. I've got 385 videos. I appreciate you here at raymondmayfield.com, and thank you so much for listening.